There are women in this world who carry a presence that cannot be explained by beauty, wealth, or intellect. It is something older, more dangerous, more magnetic. Carl Jung believed that such women embody a psychological force that is both a gift and a burden. It is not written on their faces, it lives beneath the surface, hidden in their aura, revealed in the way they disturb, heal, and awaken the people around them. You can feel it when they enter a space. Something shifts. Conversations pause. Eyes linger. Not because they are trying to be seen, but because something in them demands attention without effort. Today, we're going to explore 7 hidden signs of women with rare spiritual power through the lens of Jung's psychology. Stay with me until the end, because the final sign is the most dangerous one. It is the one Jung warned could destroy a woman if she is not conscious of it. Let's begin with the first sign. Sign 1, the aura of silent gravity. Some women don't need to speak to command attention. They can walk into a crowded room without saying a word, and somehow all eyes turn. This has nothing to do with conventional beauty or surface-level charm. It is deeper than that. It is invisible yet undeniable. Jung would describe this as the power of unconscious projection. When a woman carries strong inner energy, people sense it instinctively. Without realizing it, they begin projecting their fantasies, desires, and fears onto her. To one person, she appears almost divine. To another, she feels threatening. To someone else, she is deeply unsettling, even though she has done nothing at all. This is why women with spiritual power are so often admired and misunderstood at the same time. They stop being seen as individuals and start being treated as symbols. People can't quite explain why they're drawn to them, why they remember their presence long after they're gone, or why being around them stirs something uncomfortable inside. This kind of gravity is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't seek validation. It is quiet, heavy, and inescapable. Jung wrote about archetypes, ancient patterns of the psyche that live in the collective unconscious of humanity. Women with high spiritual power often embody these archetypes naturally. The wise woman, the witch, the muse, the oracle. These figures are remembered across cultures and centuries because they represent forces larger than the individual. And here lies the paradox. What feels like a crown can also become a cage. When people see you as a symbol, they rarely see the human underneath. They admire the power, but they don't always know how to love the person. They want access to the energy, not the vulnerability. And that is where the loneliness begins. Because behind this silent gravity lies another unseen sign, one that creates a deep contradiction at the heart of these women's lives. Sign 2, the paradox of solitude and connection. Women with rare spiritual power often appear deeply connected to the world. They attract friends, lovers, seekers, and strangers who feel compelled to be near them. People open up around them. Confessions spill out without warning. Stories emerge that were never meant to be told. And yet inside, these women often live with a profound sense of solitude. Jung spoke of the archetype of the wise woman as someone both sought after and set apart. This paradox exists because such women see into others with unsettling clarity. They perceive what lies beneath the masks people wear. The insecurity hidden behind confidence, the pain buried under humor, the longing concealed beneath ambition. This depth makes others feel exposed. Even when nothing is said, people sense that they are being seen, truly seen. And while this can feel healing, it can also feel intimidating. Many people are drawn to these women, but few know how to meet them in full authenticity. So these women often exist in a strange in-between state, surrounded by people yet rarely understood, loved yet not fully known, connected yet alone. It feels like standing on a bridge, one foot in the world, one foot in solitude. And this solitude is not a weakness. It is where their strength is forged. In their alone time, they commune with their inner world, with dreams, with symbols, with images that rise from the unconscious. This is where their insight deepens and their intuition sharpens. But this paradox is not gentle. Many women with high spiritual power feel lonely even in relationships, even in love, because their depth is rarely matched. Conversations often stay on the surface while their inner world moves in oceans. And yet it is precisely this solitude that refines their awareness. It teaches them to listen inwardly. It strengthens their connection to what cannot be seen. Which brings us to the next unseen sign. A gift that feels almost supernatural yet carries its own hidden danger. Sign 3, the dangerous gift of intuition. Jung described intuition as a form of perception through the unconscious. A way of knowing without logic, without evidence, without explanation. For women with high spiritual power, intuition is not an occasional feeling. It is a constant current running through their entire being. They sense shifts before they happen. They know when someone is lying without needing proof. They feel unspoken grief, buried resentment, or hidden desire as if it were their own. To others, this feels uncanny, even frightening. To them, it feels natural, like breathing. But intuition comes at a cost. It reveals truths people are not ready to face. And when a woman speaks those truths, she risks rejection, mockery, distance. History is full of women who were labeled dangerous simply because they saw too much, too clearly, too soon. This gift can also be painful for the woman herself. To constantly perceive betrayal before it happens or sense emotional undercurrents no one acknowledges is exhausting. It is like walking through life without a blindfold while everyone else is protected by darkness. And this is only the beginning. Because intuition doesn't just reveal truth. It pulls her deeper into a role that few are prepared to carry. In the next part, we'll explore why these women become magnets for both love and hostility, how they embody the dance between light and shadow, and why Jung believed their greatest strength could also become their greatest danger. As powerful as intuition is, it does not exist in isolation. When a woman sees deeply, feels deeply, and moves through the world with that kind of awareness, she inevitably affects the inner lives of others. This leads us to the fourth unseen sign, one that explains why women of spiritual power are rarely met with indifference. Sign 4, the shadow magnet. Jung believed that wherever there is light, there is shadow. And the brighter the light, the darker the shadow it can awaken. Women with high spiritual power radiate a kind of inner clarity that does not just illuminate beauty, kindness, or potential. It also exposes what has been hidden, denied, or repressed. These women act as mirrors. They don't have to accuse, confront, or even speak. Their mere presence can stir envy, resentment, insecurity, or fear in others. Someone may feel inexplicably irritated around them. Another may feel exposed, as if their inner contradictions are suddenly visible. This is not because the woman is doing anything wrong, but because her presence activates the shadow in those who have not made peace with their own darkness. This is why such women often attract extreme reactions. They are loved intensely or disliked without explanation, admired openly or undermined quietly, rarely neutral. Jung would say that the hostility directed at them is rarely about who they are. It is about what they awaken. When someone's unresolved shadow is brought to the surface, the psyche looks for a place to project it. And too often, that place becomes the woman who unknowingly revealed it. Gossip, sabotage, subtle cruelty, and unjust criticism frequently follow women of this nature. Not because they are weak, but because they are powerful enough to disturb the unconscious equilibrium of others. Yet this same mirror effect is what makes them healers, because growth requires confrontation, healing requires awareness. And many people only begin to face their shadow after encountering someone who reflects it back to them. These women don't heal by fixing others, they heal by being who they are. But carrying this role is exhausting. To constantly absorb projections, to be blamed for reactions you did not cause, to hold space for emotional storms that are not yours, takes a toll, and it prepares them for the next unseen sign, one that explains why their presence feels so otherworldly. Sign 5, the dance between light and darkness. One of Jung's greatest insights was that the psyche is made whole not by rejecting darkness, but by integrating it. Light without shadow is naive. Shadow without light is destructive. Wholeness lives in the union of opposites. Women with high spiritual power embody this union in a way that feels both magnetic and unsettling. They are not innocent in the sense of being untouched by pain. They have walked through heartbreak, betrayal, loss, and disillusionment. They have known despair. They have questioned life, love, and meaning. And instead of turning away from these experiences, they allowed themselves to be shaped by them. This is why their presence carries depth. Their eyes hold both softness and intensity. Their energy feels comforting yet dangerous, safe yet transformative. They can sit with your pain without flinching, not because they are detached, but because they have sat with their own. They do not pretend to be perfect. They do not hide their scars. They understand that wounds, when faced honestly, become sources of wisdom. Pain, when integrated, becomes compassion. People sense this immediately. Being near them feels different. You don't feel judged, but you do feel seen. Not just your personality, but your contradictions, your hopes and your fears, your light and your shadow. This is why encounters with such women are often remembered long after they end. They don't just touch your life, they activate something inside you. But to live in this dance between light and darkness requires strength. It requires an inner authority that cannot be silenced. And that brings us to the sixth unseen sign. Sign 6, the unyielding inner voice. At the core of these women is an inner voice that does not bend easily to pressure, fear, or expectation. Jung referred to this as the voice of the self, the deepest organizing center of the psyche. It is the compass that guides a person toward authenticity and wholeness. For women of spiritual power, this voice is unmistakable. It speaks when something is wrong, even if everything looks right on the surface. It urges them to leave relationships that slowly suffocate them, even when love is still present. It pushes them away from paths that promise security but demand self-betrayal. This voice does not negotiate with comfort. It tells them to speak when silence would be safer, to create when conformity would be rewarded, to walk alone when following the crowd would be easier. And because of this, these women are often labeled difficult, stubborn, rebellious, or unrealistic. But they are not being difficult, they are being faithful. Faithful to something inside them that refuses to be compromised. Jung warned that ignoring this inner voice is dangerous. When suppressed, it does not disappear. It turns inward. It becomes anxiety, depression, emptiness, or self-destruction. The psyche rebels when its deepest truth is denied. This is why women with spiritual power must honor this voice, even when it costs them relationships, approval, or belonging. The price of ignoring it is always higher, and yet listening to this voice does not lead to an easy life. In fact, it prepares them for the final unseen sign, the one that carries both destiny and danger. In the next part, we'll explore the burden of transformation, why Jung believes such women are not meant for comfort, and the warning that determines whether this power becomes a source of awakening or self-destruction. The inner voice these women carry does not guide them toward comfort. It guides them toward truth. And truth, as Jung understood, is rarely gentle. This brings us to the final and most dangerous unseen sign, the one that holds both their purpose and their greatest risk. Sign 7, the burden of transformation. Jung believed that individuals with high spiritual energy are not meant for ordinary lives. They are not here to settle quietly into comfort or routine. They are here for transformation. And transformation is never painless. For women with this kind of power, life often unfolds through intensity. Betrayals that cut deeply, losses that change them forever, crises that arrive one after another, leaving little time to recover. From the outside, it can look unfair, even cruel. But from a Jungian perspective, these experiences are not punishments, they are initiations. Life uses these women as vessels. They are shaped through pressure because they are meant to shape others. They move through darkness because they are meant to carry light into places others cannot reach. This is why people who cross their path are rarely the same afterward. Some feel healed, some feel shaken, some feel awakened. But almost no one leaves unchanged. This is the burden of transformation. Their lives are not entirely their own. Their presence catalyzes change in a world that resists it. And while this gives their lives depth and meaning, it also places a heavy demand on their inner resources. Jung issued a clear warning here. Fire can warm, but it can also consume. If a woman with this kind of spiritual power gives endlessly without replenishing herself, she risks burning out. If she carries others' pain without tending to her own soul, she risks being destroyed by the very energy she was meant to carry. This is why self-care for these women is not indulgence, it is survival. They must learn when to withdraw, when to say no, when to protect their inner world from constant intrusion. Solitude is not a luxury for them, it is a necessity. Without it, their intuition becomes noise. Their compassion turns into exhaustion. Their purpose dissolves into self-sacrifice. Jung believed that such souls are called to the path of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming whole, of integrating light and shadow, conscious and unconscious, strength and vulnerability. It is not a path that many choose. It is a path that chooses them. If you have recognized even one of these signs in yourself, understand this. You are not broken. You are not too intense. You are not meant to fit neatly into the expectations of the world. You are here to become. This path will test you. It may isolate you. It will demand courage, honesty, and resilience. But it will also offer something rare. A life of depth, a life of meaning. A life that touches others not through force, but through presence. Your power is not here to destroy you. It is here to awaken you, and through you to awaken the world.